The biggest buzz for months in the smart home world has been the new Matter tech standard and all the related puns. Well, it's time for me to jump in and give my take on this major new development poised to disrupt the entire smart home and home automation industry. I'll explain what it is trying to do, and why some manufacturers are nervous and scared of its potential. Stick around and find out what you need to know for your current or future smart home projects. Is Matter the ultimate standard for smart home world peace? Matter is a new standard trying to solve the industry-wide problem of incompatible smart home products and systems. Consumers are frustrated and confused that smart devices must be purchased for specific systems and cannot easily mix and match between systems. The big technology companies, Apple, Google, Samsung, and Amazon, each have their own systems that do not play nice together. In simplified terms, an Apple HomeKit smart plug cannot be controlled by an Amazon Alexa smart speaker voice command. A Google Nest thermostat cannot be controlled by Samsung SmartThings, and an Amazon Echo speaker can't stream music from a Google Home system. Imagine a world where the roads and highways are not standardized. We can drive our car in our town, but when we try going to another city, we would have to leave our car and use a different car made for the roads in that town. Crazy. Fortunately, every car fits on every road, even if the steering wheel is on the wrong side sometimes in other countries. At a high level, that's what Matter is trying to do. Standardize the road design and the roads used by all smart home devices so they can work on each company's systems smoothly and without interruption. But just like the car analogy, Matter isn't trying to standardize everything into a completely cookie-cutter recipe. Each product will continue to have unique features and its own secret sauce, attempting to convince buyers the advantages of one product over another and the different prices. Matter's trying to do a lot more, but that's the basic concept. Make products and systems from competing companies work together so the customers like you and installers like me don't have to keep struggling with all the differences and complexity. Matter's been developed under the auspices of a nonprofit industry organization called the Connectivity Standards Alliance, or CSA for short. Originally called Connected Home over IP, or CHIPS, when started in 2019, it was renamed to Matter by some marketing person that thought CHIPS was a mouthful. Personally, I think somebody that loved puns snuck the new name through, but that doesn't matter. Apple, Amazon, and Google were the initial founders and backers. That's fancy talk, meaning each of these companies paid big bucks into the nonprofit to have a strong say in how things would proceed technically and organizationally. Over time, lots of additional companies have joined the party. Different levels of membership exist. It's all pay to play, and at the time of this video, promoter members cough up $105,000 per year. Participant members kick in $20,000 per year, and adopter members are $7,000 per year poorer. So if your favorite company or computer genius in mom's basement can't claim official Matter membership and certification, look to their wallets as one of the reasons. Some well-known members are listed in the description below. Project CHIP, or Matter as it is now called, drew in a hardware standards group called the Zigbee Alliance that worked on the, you guessed it, Zigbee low-power wireless radio transmission system. Like any proper standards effort, they couldn't leave well enough alone and renamed the parent organization to the Connectivity Standards Alliance because, amongst other things, they merged Zigbee hardware with the nascent Thread wireless protocol software and incorporated Thread hardware and software as a preferred wireless technology for Matter. Whew, my gosh. At this point, your eyes are glazing over with technical jargon and acronyms. So let me wrap up this intro by saying that Matter covers both hardware and software technologies. For networking hardware, Matter presupposes a local area home network using wired Ethernet or a wireless Wi-Fi transmission for general-purpose devices, plus low-powered wireless thread hardware for sensors and other battery-operated devices. The popular Bluetooth Low Energy, or BLE, low-power wireless technology, notorious for poor range, buggy operation, terrible battery life, and overall flakiness, has been delegated to a minimal role, primarily used only for initial device setup. That's good. In my opinion, BLE Bluetooth has been a big failure in smart home devices. It's fine for earbuds, portable speakers, mice, keyboards, similar devices, but never cut the mustard as a viable smart home device communications method. Thank goodness it's being phased out and replaced with Thread. Other technologies can also be supported via hardware or software bridges or converters. So you'll be able to use OG Zigbee, Z-Wave, and other proprietary systems as long as bridges or gateways are offered by their respective manufacturers and supporters. I hope you're finding this information valuable. I'd really appreciate it if you could stick around and let me know by clicking subscribe. By subscribing, you'll be notified every time I post a new video so you won't miss out. Your support is greatly appreciated and helps me to continue creating videos for you to enjoy. Why Matter? What problems does it solve? To answer this, keep in mind that the CSA is a company vendor organization. Solving their problems, not yours, is the soft-spoken hidden agenda for creating the Matter standard. Matter Job 1 is to fix retail consumer confusion. Buyers of smart home gadgets walking into big box retail stores or buying online are confused. Mom or grandma can't just buy a product, bring it home, plug it in, and expect it to work. Smart home devices are not like toasters, coffee machines, or tea kettles. Manufacturers believe this confusion and lack of plug-and-play compatibility is holding back the smart home market from growing into a mega-trillion-dollar business. And I mean mega-trillion. The tactic of each company creating its own technology and products, forcing consumers to buy everything from one company, has failed. The days of the Betamax versus VHS video cassette wars are long gone. Even the quintessential battle of Mac versus PC has quietly subsided into peaceful coexistence. Macs are now even welcome in the corporate world with much less fuss. With Matter, you'll be able to buy any product and it will simply work with everything you already have. Of course, I say that tongue in cheek. That's the goal. We will probably never achieve it, but we have the chance to get a lot closer to that now. Matter Job 2 is to solve the cost and complexity of manufacturing a smart home device to work with every existing system. Right now, if a company or product developer wants to create a smart home device, even a straightforward smart plug, just to turn something on or off and have it work with Amazon, Apple, Google, and Samsung, they've got to build it 4 times. Each of these large consumer systems needs its own software called drivers or application programming interface, added to the device so it can talk to the corresponding server, hub, bridge, or controller managing everything. But that's only the beginning. Then the product creator has to apply to the manufacturer or its designated representative and have their device tested in a lab and certified that it meets the applicable technical requirements. Only then can the product be marketed and sold as officially supported. For consumers, this means carefully checking for the works with Apple HomeKit, works with Google Home, works with Amazon Echo, or works with SmartThings cute little logo or symbol on the box. Matter aims to replace all of this with a single works with Matter certification and logo. But it's not that simple. I made a formal inquiry to Underwriters Laboratories, also called UL Solutions, one of the officially designated test labs in the US for Matter certification on behalf of one of my consulting clients. As of this time, here's what they said, quote, "In terms of cost, it depends on certification type. If it's hardware device certification, it will be between $15,000 to $20,000. If it's software component certification, it would be between $12,000 and $17,000. Now remember, this expense is in addition to the fee to become a CSA member company. Certification time from start to finish is probably measured in months, not weeks or days. Where does Matter stand today? After a long gestation period, the official version 1.0 of the Matter spec was published on October 4th, 2022. Version 1 supports lighting products, door locks, thermostats, heating, ventilation, air conditioning, controllers, blinds, shades, home security sensors, televisions, and streaming video players. Version 2 is planned for release in the spring of 2024. Yeah, that's almost 2 years away, and will add support for robotic vacuum cleaners, motion and presence sensing, smoke and carbon monoxide detectors, environmental sensing, controls, closure sensors, energy management, Wi-Fi access points, security cameras, and major home appliances. Whew. Although there is disappointment that popular smart home products such as robotic vacuums, all kinds of sensors, and security cameras are not supported in version 1, in fairness, they had to draw the line somewhere to get the first version out the door. Once again, it's easy to get lost in all the technical details. I would like to clarify a few things about Matter that are particularly confusing for most people I talk with. For most ecosystems, Matter runs on top of the existing software and hardware. It's more of an upgrade and enhancement than a wholesale replacement. Matter and Thread are often mentioned together, but they're not the same thing. Matter does not require Thread, and Thread does not require Matter. Thread itself is fairly new, but a small number of Thread devices have already been available and work in existing systems without Matter. It's very likely that most Thread devices will quickly be upgraded to Matter, so in the future, Thread and Matter will be closely linked. If you have products and systems today that work, there is no urgency to rush out and replace everything with Matter versions. Over time, it will be prudent only to purchase products that include Matter support for greater flexibility and to maximize compatibility. In the short term, Matter devices may be immature, less reliable, more limited in capability than their field-proven predecessors. Moving beyond the adoption of Matter by consumer smart home systems, it is also interesting to look at the world of professional home automation solutions and how they will embrace Matter, if at all. The professional smart home industry likes to call itself the Custom Integration Business, or CI for short. I'll use that term here also because it's easier to say. The CI moniker stems from the early days when professional dealers were required to integrate equipment from disparate vendors into a single usable system by writing their own custom software for each client or installation. Today's CI dealer is quite different from those of the past. There is less custom software, although modifying device drivers and tweaking the plethora of installation settings and operating parameters is still a part of the profession. A good portion of CI work has morphed from integration engineering to design and installation services. Selecting the appropriate products, systems, networking, and design to create an integrated, visually hidden, or aesthetically pleasing whole home system is both an engineering challenge and an art. CI systems have been around before the age of the internet or even remote communications, predating smartphones and tablets. CI systems have utilized wireless technologies, including Z-Wave and Zigbee, extensively, so there isn't a pressing need for the newer wireless Thread hardware and software devices to supplant, some might say fix, the limited Bluetooth BLE wireless often used in the consumer smart home. Unlike the consumer smart home, where creating technology that works completely locally and without internet or cloud dependencies has been the exception, all CI systems have been local-only solutions from the beginning. So now that the new Matter standard is leading the evolution back to completely local operations, CI systems have been making the reverse trek. Completely standalone, local, and reliable traditional home automation systems have been enhanced and upgraded to include the more fragile, problematic, insecure, and privacy-busting tech of the internet. This video has been a bigger project than I first imagined. If you appreciate this kind of in-depth analysis, I would appreciate it if you could power through watching the entire video. That will encourage me to do more of these. At DoItForMe.Solutions, I span both of these worlds by helping homeowners maximize their smart home budget through a combination of advice for do-it-yourself products, providing design to full installation of Do-It-For-Me solutions, or consultative expertise selecting the optimal CI products and services. So where exactly do CI systems stand on Matter? That's a good question, a hard question. I have a partial answer. I sent a formal inquiry to top CI automation companies asking them for an official answer to the following questions. Do you plan to support Matter? If you do, can you give any specific or general information on your support? Simple, right? Not really. Logistically, I didn't get very many responses. Whenever possible, I tried to contact each company's public relations or press contacts. I know a small YouTuber probably isn't high on their priority list. Still, years ago, when I conducted similar research on a different topic, I always received a polite, if not informative, official reply. This time, more than half the companies didn't even have a formal PR or press contact easily located on their website. I did the best I could and will share with you the meager results I received. Because of these completely unscientific results, I'm not going to name all the companies contacted nor reveal which ones failed to respond, but I will share a portion of 3 responses I have compiled. ELAN Systems. We believe that it will take a considerate amount of time before consumers make a purchase decision based on if the device supports Matter or not. If our customers and partners want it, we'll be ready to add compatibility for Matter to our home control platform, Nice ELAN. For now, we'll see how the ecosystem grows and be ready to bring it into development should that time come. Paul Williams, Chief Product Officer for Nice North America. Josh.AI. Our team is closely monitoring the launch of Matter and how it evolves in its early days, positioned in the DIY market. Thanks to the technical expertise of our professional installers, it is not as applicable yet for device manufacturers catering to the custom integration industry. However, we are actively exploring how implementing Matter can help us achieve our long-term strategic goals so that we can embrace it as needed. Watching how some of our current ecosystem partners leverage Matter and how it is received among the installed solutions channel will be key drivers in our decision-making process over the coming months. Casey Levy-Tulloch, Business Development. Lutron. While Lutron does not comment on future product roadmaps, we remind you that Lutron, as a board-level member of the CSA, has supported the Matter 1.0 standard mission since inception. Lutron's support for the CSA's mission is closely aligned with our company's guiding principle of taking care of the customer. One important way we do this is by providing seamlessly integrated and delightful connected experiences. Matter is a complex issue for the CI industry as it affects manufacturers, dealers, integrators, and customers in overlapping but different ways. If you would like a deeper dive on the topic of Matter and CI home automation systems, let me know in the comments below. For now, I'll highlight some of the intriguing issues and challenges. Supporting Matter could be the best of both worlds for professional CI systems by blending pro gear with consumer products into a single integrated system. Standardized Matter device drivers could streamline supporting new hardware for manufacturers and reduce a lot of the necessary but unpleasant grunt work of writing device drivers for many different custom systems. There are significant technical challenges, but the biggest open question is how it affects the business model of existing companies. We're talking about money, folks. Will it increase sales volume and profit potential, or will it cannibalize and commoditize the CI industry or even make it obsolete? Will it open CI walled gardens or some vendors' current walled prisons of controlled proprietary systems? Or will it create the mass chaos of a third world shopping bazaar by letting customers finally pick and choose their own hardware products? At this time, I feel that CI industry players fall into two camps: the skeptics, taking a wait-and-see attitude, or the cynics, sticking their heads in the sand with the hope that this is just another standards effort that will fall flat on its face or have minimal real impact. Nobody in the CI industry wants to stick their necks out and be early adopters, and no one wants to go on record condemning the initiative lest it does actually succeed. The only sure motto for the CI industry adoption of Matter is "only time will tell." No analysis is complete without some recommendations and advice. In my paid, private, and personal consulting sessions, I work directly with my clients to provide a detailed assessment and specific assistance based on their requirements, capabilities, and budget. On the other hand, as much as you probably do, I just like generic free advice of "it depends" or general information laced liberally with "your mileage may vary." So with just a little disclaimer, here's some guidance that I feel will be actually helpful. My advice is for mainstream smart home users and not for hobbyists, enthusiasts, or early adopters. We live in homes with less tolerant spouses, partners, and family members not happy with random experimentation. If lights, heat, music, and TV don't work like they always did, we aren't congratulated for just trying. We're rewarded with some unkind words and a blanket for the couch. My advice is based on 3 timeframes: now, medium term, and the long run. You'll have to figure out where you fit and what duration makes sense for you. My short term might be your long term and vice versa. So yes, there's still a bit of the "your mileage may vary" waffling, but I believe you can develop a better working plan for your smart home projects with this framework. My short term advice is simple: ignore Matter. The trickle of products available are the same devices with a new facade. There's no actual new functionality, and many have less features, less usability, or lackluster appeal than the products you have today. A lot of the hype during the initial launch of Matter, the press events, and even the yearly Consumer Electronics Show in January, all that razzle-dazzle are heavy on hype and short on reality. The most drool-worthy ideas aren't even planned to ship until the middle of 2023 or later, if ever. The products available now in the short term are likely to be buggy, unreliable, and unproven in larger homes and configurations. Why be an early adopter, which means being an unpaid beta tester for the manufacturers and having to buy the products just for that privilege? For the medium term, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. For many of us, we have chosen a single horse to ride: Apple HomeKit, Google Home, Amazon Alexa, Samsung SmartThings, or one of several professional home automation systems, including Control4, Crestron, Savant, or others. The archetypical walled gardens, perhaps for better or worse, but we've got it working and it ain't broke. Matter's original raison d'etre, to allow smart devices to work with all the major ecosystems, isn't really a problem for us now. Most of the larger brands of products already have works with HomeKit, works with Google, works with Amazon, and works with SmartThings on their box. Those few oddball devices gifted or purchased by mistake are sitting unused in a box, sold on eBay, or already given to a friend anyway. Pragmatically, spending a little more money to buy the products that work with our chosen system saves hours of frustration and saves marriages. Okay, probably not, but they could. Don't upgrade devices you have to Matter. You gain little or nothing and can lose functionality and stability. Buy new devices with Matter support included. Might as well start planning for the future. Start small using new Matter devices and test. Make sure they're working for you and not creating more work from you. For wireless, go ahead and try a few Thread devices. Get familiar with the deployment requirements, range, reach, and usability, but don't pull the trigger en masse yet. I feel that long-term is not a time frame, but a milestone. It's when Matter devices have proven themselves stable, reliable, and trustworthy. It's when Matter devices are not premium priced, but are dirt cheap because increased competition has driven prices down even in the face of inflation and supply chain fluctuations. It's when new kinds of Matter devices finally exist and only exist for Matter. Finally, something more interesting than just another smart plug, wall dimmer, or motion detector. In the long run, upgrade your existing devices to Matter if they can be upgraded. Don't buy anything new without Matter built in. Start planning to replace old, non-Matter devices with newer, possibly different products as they age out and have outlived their usefulness. At this point, replacements should be lower cost supersets, making the decision much easier and simpler. But wait, there's more! For more info on Matter, including useful websites, interesting videos from other YouTubers, and more, see the links in the description below. What if Matter fails or simply fizzles out completely? Well, if you follow my advice, you'll be fine. You won't have a big investment in Matter devices until it's proven and even more affordable than what we have now. Since all Matter devices are built on top of existing standards like Ethernet and Wi-Fi and even Thread, the risk of them being completely useless or obsolete is very small. And since you aren't jumping in right now to replace every smart home device you own, you aren't, right? Your risk is even smaller. Building and using a smart home should be enjoyable, productive, and useful. Proceed at your own pace, and remember, if it doesn't matter, that's okay too.